What did the starving clock do in the buffet? It went back 4 seconds. Wah, wah. This is Bingo all the way in Manchester, England. You're listening to the Doug Stanhope Podcast with guest host Chad Shank.
You know, I was talking to Gretchen the other day and she was asking me about the podcast because people will like reference stuff that I said on the podcast on Twitter and I have no idea what the fuck anybody's talking about.
Wait, they're referencing things you said and Gretchen's asking you because she doesn't understand?
Sorry, my head's a little too fast. I'm not fucking putting words together right
Or
now.
I'm too slow.
I get messages from people on Twitter regarding things I've said on the podcast, and I have no fucking clue what anybody's talking about. And it's bothered me because I never, I just kind of say, I don't remember what I say on the podcast. And then I think everybody thought I was blackout drunk or something because I'm usually pretty fucking drunk, but I never thought about it. But Gretchen asked me about it the other day and she was saying, how come you don't remember what you say on the podcast? And I told her, I think it's because I'm trying to pay attention to the moment of what Stanhope's saying and stuff. And I don't log, I just talk and then I overanalyze everything else I say. The rest of the night, I'll fucking rehash what the fuck I said the next day and be like, oh, I said that.
We get the best of you, Chad.
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I said.
So,
don't start yet.
So people, no, we haven't started. But it is interesting that, the people ask you things and you don't recognize what they said you said on the podcast.
Yeah, I don't remember my references.
So what do you do? You just tell them,
I just don't respond to people.
Yeah.
Cause then I'd have to explain.
Yeah.
And I never thought about it myself until the other day.
I'm just curious. That's probably would be your answer even if you knew what they were saying. Even if you recognized it, you don't often engage.
That's true. Sometimes I do remember what people are talking about, and I still usually don't respond. Unless I'm right there on it. I don't know. Twitter's fun. It's interesting because it's like my only other social interaction with people besides here. So it's fun, for me to...
Whereas people might go to work and have interactions with people.
Exactly. It's not good for me. It's not healthy for me to have interaction. Today I had to go to court
I thought
all day
it's not
today.
Healthy for you to...
It's not healthy for other people, probably. I had to go to court today for my daughter, for some bullshit lying to a cop's charge or whatever.
Okay.
But, anyway.
For her lying to a cop.
Yeah, it was bullshit. But anyways, I had to go and deal with that today. So it was a stressful day. I couldn't smoke weed in the morning. I smoked weed in the morning.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah. I told you I hadn't smoked weed. I smoked weed early in the morning, but then I can't go in. I have to talk to people. I can't be stoned or whatever.
Well, you're going to a courthouse representing your daughter.
I have to put on clothes that don't fit me right and talk to strangers. It's not what I'm used to. Out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
But I did that, and then on my way home, before I came here, I was going to get a 6-pack of beer and to kickstart, because I didn't feel like coming over here at all after doing that. I go into the fucking store, and the lady, I get beer, and the jerky is on sale. It says for 6 something instead of 8 something.
Like right at the cash register there?
No, it's over on the side where the jerky thing is, but it's a giant, like, pop out 3D sign that comes out. And I was like, all right, I'm going to get beer. I'm going to get some jerky anyway. So I get jerky and I go up there and the lady says,
you've deserved it.
Hey,
you went all day without smoking
or
a lot
eating
of weed
because I had no appetite because I didn't smoke any weed. It's a bad fucking day. I'm constantly worried while I'm in there that I'm going to fucking start shouting about how fucking injustice this, and I did before. I have before.
Yeah.
My daughter's like, Dad, shh, stop, and it's hard.
So you've earned this liquor store treat.
I needed some beer on the fucking dirt road home. Yeah. So I stop in and like I said, I get jerky because it's on sale. I didn't even want to get jerky, but then I go to this lady and she rings it up and it rings up 8 something. And I said, it's 6 something, not 8 something on sale. She says, oh, you have to have the rewards card.
Oh, like the
convenience store rewards card, like you have at Safeway.
Like at Safeway, yeah.
Yeah. It's called Giant. And so all right, give me the rewards card. There's a whole bucket of them sitting right there. So I just give me one. And so she says, okay. And then looks at me and says, it's, $15. And I said, no, I want the discount. I want the thing. She says, well, I have to cancel it all out. Well, then fucking cancel it all out because I want to fucking get one of these cards now and do this thing. And I don't know why. I normally don't want to do that, but there's a guy behind me, so she wants to take the guy behind me. So I'm like, yeah, you can take the guy behind me. She takes the guy behind me. Has to print out a whole thing. I have to fill out, put my personal information, my address and my phone number, which I didn't want to, but now I'm committed to it because I was fucking wanted to save $2 apparently. I'm not thinking rationally. This is what's fucked up. So then the lady rings all the stuff back up with my new thing. Yeah. And gives me this exact same fucking total that she gave me before. And I said, no, I still didn't get the discount. And she goes, oh, no, I guess not. And I said, all right, but it says it's $6. Now this ringing up is $8 and it says it's $6. She fucking shrugs her shoulders at me. All right. No, you have to fucking fix it. So I lose my shit over less than $2 now. I know it. I'm already... this is why I hate me, because not only am I fucking being an asshole, I told her, she rolls her eyes at me. And so I step back and I go, cancel it out again then, bitch. I said, oh, you want to fucking be an asshole? I'll be an asshole too. Take this guy. And then so I made her cancel my order out again. Yeah. And I fucking just stood there staring at her the entire time while she checks out the next guy. And then she rings me up again and it's the same fucking total.
But I don't understand why it keeps coming up the same.
I didn't either.
Is it because the card isn't giving the discount?
But she still doesn't care. Yeah. She still is not like going, she's like, well, it's not doing it. There's a sign. Now I'm yelling and I'm fucking pointing and I'm running around the store going, it says right here, $6.99. I don't know. And what sucks about it is that I'm simultaneously aware that this is fucking ridiculous and that I shouldn't be doing this, but I can't help it. I'm still doing it because I'm angry about it. And then I'm still aware that I'm looking for the guy who's filming it too, because it's going to end up, I'm going to be the viral fucking asshole who went off over $1.49 on jerky.
Beef jerky guy.
Yeah, I'll be fucking beef jerky guy. So I'm still aware enough to look for that guy so I can kick his ass and break his phone. I fucking hate me so fucking much. The fucking lady, she brings another lady over finally and asks her to help me. And the other lady, I guess, had common sense because she just walked over there with me and said, it says fucking $6. And she went back over and changed the price to $6. Yeah. But not before I made an ass of myself and fucking scared an old man. I don't know. He had like fucking blood stains on his shirt. Like he was the guy that went after me. So he had like surgery or something.
Leaking through a shirt?
Yeah. And again, there's still a part of me that feels bad. Like you're fucking making this old fucking man who had surgery and is bleeding uncomfortable. Chad, stop doing this. But I don't stop doing it. I escalate it more.
I think his weeping sutures were making him more uncomfortable. But
it made me angrier. It's this fucking sight of blood. Fuck. She was an ornamental lady. I didn't get racist. I fucking thought I might. Jong. If you don't understand how fucking the cash register works, Jong, don't fucking work at the convenience store.
I love that it just kept coming up the same, and there's no other response other than, well, I guess we should void this sale. You'll have to go through the process of signing your name and everything again, and then do it all over again. And then void the sale again.
And then I think what pissed me off was her response was to shrug her shoulders at me like, I don't know. And I've realized at the same time right now that I fucking still sound like a fucking idiot. I appreciate that. I fucking wish I could just run off a cliff. But
I would not want to be the guy behind you and watching that go down. I wouldn't reach for my phone to do anything unless I thought I was going to get serious. But
I already aggressively fucking stared down everybody else just so they wouldn't do that.
I think I would.
It's horrible.
I would probably leave, or I'd say, no, go on. You're first. Let's hash this out here.
I have a bad history of this stuff. When I was young, the first time I think this happened, I went to Napa. I had a water pump in my truck.
Napa Auto Parts store.
Napa Auto Parts store. A water pump in my truck went out. And I went in to buy a new water pump, and they said, do you have the old one? And I said, well, no, I haven't taken it out yet. And they said, oh, well, bring it in. We'll give you a core charge for it. It's $8. And I said, oh, if I bring the broken one in, give you $8. I said, all right. So I went and replaced my water pump, and I brought in the broken one. It was broken into 2 pieces. The shaft had broken on it. They didn't specify that it could be broken. If I handed it to them, and they said, well, we can't take this. This is broken. What the fuck? You told me bring back the broken one, and you'll give me $8. I don't. So that's immediately my response is to fucking become aggressive with them. The guy, I don't remember what he said, and I leaned across the fucking counter and I punched him in the face.
What?
And you would have thought that I came in with a gun. Everybody in the whole fucking store ran behind the counter and back in the aisles, like so that.
Oh, like they trained for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh fuck, I didn't mean for that to happen, and I just left. I didn't get in trouble for it or anything. I just took off, and the cops never knew who I was. Napa
seems like a place where you might run into an angry customer that is willing to like. I got nothing to lose, and that $8 core charge was promised to me.
$8. I assaulted somebody for $8. Fucking what an asshole.
So we've started the Doug. Hey. It's the Doug Stanhope Podcast.
People wanted me to fucking tell them about my fucking idiot life.
No,
there it is.
Hey, man.
That's how I fucking live.
So the podcast went out last week.
Which one?
Well, I'm talking like.
We're
supposed to be in the future a little bit.
How the fuck this works? All right, I got you.
Yeah.
It was how.
I only regret that we didn't get it out sooner, but we had the part 1 and part 2 of Electric Dave and Cedric, and then now I wish we would have put yours out so we could at least see what the people were tweeting.
Yeah, I know. You might not put this one out by the time that comes out. Like, this sucked so bad. Don't do another one.
Well, no, because people like you and they want to hear your stories, and that's all we're doing. We're just running tape and seeing how it goes, as evidenced of the 2 assault charges, or the 1 assault and the other. What would be the other? Just staring people down at the register, Chad. That would be
It felt really criminal. I'll tell you right now.
You felt criminal what you were doing?
Yeah, while I was doing it, like I was in charge of the entire convenience store, basically.
Like they were allowed to shop and purchase because you let them.
Everybody was afraid, and I could tell that. And like I said, I knew it. I knew I should stop. I didn't.
Like Escape from New York.
They hate me.
Like you run the block.
Ran the fuck out of that giant convenience store today. Don't give me $1.49 off my jerky, bitch.
I don't know if you wanted to talk about any of these things.
I'll talk about whatever if you ask me. And then later, if I don't want you to talk about it, I'll ask you not to put it.
No. Well, we were talking the other day about some things to talk about on the podcast, and you were saying about the best Father's Day ever.
Oh, when we got drunk after fucking... I don't remember when the fuck did we talk about that.
That was a while ago. A week ago. I mean, I don't know when it was, but you've got 2 kids, right?
I have 4 kids.
4 kids.
They're all out of the house basically now. But the best Father's Day ever, I think it was, I don't remember, it's 2011, is a few years ago.
Yeah.
There was a giant fire in Sierra Vista, and it burned, I don't know, 25,000 acres or something. It was huge, and they ended up evacuating tons of people. And they evacuated my whole neighborhood. And it was right on Father's Day. So it was almost like the apocalypse. My whole family was living in a tent in a park somewhere.
Really?
Yeah. And I was at home with the fire. The fire came within a half a mile of my house. And I didn't think the fire would get that close because it was up on the mountain.
So are you like in the foothills there?
Off of,
like coming down off the mountain?
Off of Carr, yeah, down off of the.
So I'm just trying to picture in that area. It's kind of sparsely populated.
You know, when you're coming off the Highway 92 right there
Yeah.
off the highway. There's the mountain on that side. I'm just off the other side of the highway down in the valley. But so my view is the mountain.
But it's not like a tract of homes.
Where I'm at?
Yeah, the homes are kind of spaced out.
Yeah, they're
right?
spaced out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
I have an acre. And they're like all manufactured homes. Mobile homes, I guess, what people use.
Yeah.
So we used to call them when I used to live in them growing up. I forgot what the fuck I was talking about. Oh, I didn't think the fire was going to come down that far.
But they've evacuated your family.
Evacuated everybody in the area, so I'm the only one left in the neighborhood. And I don't want to leave because, I'm going to go stay in a fucking gym with a bunch of people. That's not going to fucking work out.
Sharing one toilet.
Yeah. And I didn't know that they went and they had tents, we have tents and shit. So they went and found a spot at the baseball field and just set up a tent. But there was still a bunch of people doing that. There's like a whole camp of fucking homeless people.
1,000 people?
I don't know. I don't remember how many they evacuated, but they evacuated a couple thousand people probably. And, I didn't think the fire would come down close enough to my house. I didn't want to leave, but I was afraid that the wind would drift down embers and stuff from the fire and catch my fucking house on fire. So I wanted to stay home, and I had ladders and I kept running up and down the fucking ladders. I had a hose on the roof and I had a hose on the ground, and I just kept everything wet.
So you had electricity
For a little while. I had to fill up. I just filled up bathtubs. I filled up every tote, like fucking thing I could find, buckets with water.
Like storage totes?
Storage.
Dump the shit out.
Storage
and
totes.
Fill
I
with
just
water?
dumped shit out and filled them with water. And then I had a generator so that I could run my swamp cooler to just keep the smoke pushed through the house. Because it was fucking bad. You can't even see. While I was on my roof wetting everything down, I could hear propane tanks exploding.
Wow.
Right down the road. But like, again, I loved it. It was the first, I enjoyed it. I had a purpose when I woke up. There was nobody around. I'd wake up. Father's Day, I woke up, went outside my underwear, climbed the ladder onto the roof to see, because I had my ladder set up out the back door so I could see the progress of the fire, where things were. Taking a piss off the fucking roof. I'm like, this is the best.
Just because you can.
Yeah, there's nobody around. There's no neighbors, no dogs barking anywhere. Everybody was gone. One fucking asshole family left their dogs kenneled in their kennel and evacuated.
Did you get involved?
No, I went down because I used my buckets of water for flushing the toilet and stuff. It was like a week or so that everybody's evacuated.
So you were at your house for a week while everyone else was gone.
No.
Did you ever leave?
I couldn't leave because they had patrols and roadblocks and stuff.
You'd have to stay out.
Basically, they came and tried to force me off my property. The sheriffs came and told me I had to leave, and I told them they could fuck off and come and get me, because I knew they couldn't. And they said, "Well, all right, you're right. We can't make you come off your property, but if you do come off your property, then we can arrest you, because this is And that was the other thing that I was worried about was that. And sure enough, there was a lot of people driving around because people will come steal my shit. Yeah, people will take my shit, so I'm not leaving. Yeah, but mainly it was because I didn't want to be around any people. But
hey, vacation almost.
It was fucking fantastic. It's the best fucking Father's Day I ever had. I don't know.
And the family they just stayed put, and I guess you were in a position to where it was legitimate enough that you were watching the property.
Yeah.
And that you couldn't leave.
Yeah.
Because the cops said you couldn't leave.
They had to be there.
So. They couldn't come in.
Nope.
This is really something maybe we could monetize. We could turn this into something like a vacation for a Father's Day retreat. A firestorm Father's Day retreat.
We will stage a full evacuation for your Father's Day escape.
This is what you get in the platinum package. Yeah. We'll have helicopter flybys. Your family will be evacuated to a camp, and then we'll have high enough security fences that they can't see through, so they won't even know what's going on.
It was realistic. Like, I felt like it was apocalyptic, so there was nobody anywhere. Like, when I ran out of water buckets to flush the toilet, I went down and found people who had pools down the road. That's how I found the dogs that were penned up. So I knew that I would let them out if the fire came down that far so they could at least fucking run. I don't know what the fuck else. But, I was filling up buckets from people's pools to flush my toilet while I was relaxing in luxury. My generator.
How did the best Father's Day ever end?
I don't remember much of, it was all pretty monotonous. I just really enjoyed it because I felt like I had a purpose, I think. That was, I think, was the main thing. And I fucking kept the place from burning down, and I fucking didn't have to deal with anybody. And I remember sleep. Okay, I'll tell you, at least one of the days it ended with me, I slept on the floor of the house with a wet washcloth over my fucking mouth and nose because the smoke was so thick.
So you're on the floor.
Going through, yeah, because that was the best spot to be. And then it was still smoky, so I put a wet washcloth so that I could somewhat filter it out.
Yeah, and then fall asleep in the choking smoke of a forest fire.
I loved every minute of it.
You know, Chad, maybe in a different time, you would have been a great lighthouse operator. Purpose? Solitude?
I don't disagree. That would be good.
Get a little internet connection, some Hulu.
I probably have to go and hunt up some water to flush my toilet.
Well, you're on the lighthouse. You got all the water you want.
Yeah.
You just can't drink it.
Anyways, yeah, that's a story about what a horrible father I am. My best Father's Day was when none of my family was around.
But you did get what you wanted for Father's Day.
Get what I want most days, I guess. I'm a dick like that.
You know, we went to that Outside Inn restaurant the other day.
How was it?
It was surprisingly nicer than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like a sports bar with a menu with steak and chicken.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What were the prices like on the menu? I never looked at that.
Oh, I don't remember. We didn't eat there, but I felt like we went in to get a glass of wine.
Yeah.
Just because it's on the outskirts between Hereford and Sierra Vista.
Yeah, I know where it is.
And it's a place. I have this theory that a friend of mine turned me on to, that if you drive by something for years and you see that same business and it's never for sale or for lease or going out of business, they must be doing something right. And that Outside Inn has been there forever. And we walked in and there's employees waiting to, take you to your table, and they're dressed nice. And I'm all of a sudden realizing I'm wearing cut off cargo pants and, a t-shirt. And, maybe I should have been coming through the service entrance. But as soon as I walked in, I'm like, well, I can't leave without, getting a glass of wine. That's what we want to do. And then I sit down and there's like a tablecloth and like polished silverware and stuff. I'm like, what yeah, I'll take the menu. But I could have just walked out. They don't know who the fuck I am. But then I thought that, well, we'll give it a shot. And, we had nice appetizers and a glass of wine, and that was it. But that's like a weird place to have a restaurant.
A place has been there for a long time, like you said. And they used to take only reservations. I've never been there, but I researched it for a while, a long time ago.
You live in that area.
I live, behind there. There's just a bunch of dirt roads behind there.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's off the highway, kind of set back. And then right behind it, it just goes into dirt roads with trailers on them, basically. But they used to only take reservations. A lot of doctors and real prominent people were known to go there. So I had a plan at one time to I knew when the end time for reservations were, so I knew when the last person would
cut
go
off
in.
would be like an hour before they close.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So there would be no more people coming in, and I was going to go in and arm rob that place. I wasn't going to. I just set up a plan in case I needed to.
You had a caper plan.
A
job, see?
I was waiting for some other stuff to pan out, and if that didn't pan out, I was going to need money. So that was the
plan C.
Exactly.
To go to South America.
Well, I don't ever have to leave. We live right on the border. I can always just tax people coming across. I have nothing but time on my hands. So I can just scout when people come across and then just tax them and then just make money that way. But I don't need to do that.
So the plan for the
Outside Inn,
the Outside Inn, was it just a stick 'em up job?
Basically,
or was it going to be back to the safe, or was it just the employees?
Well, that was the beauty of it, was that I had no worries of people coming in behind me. I could do it alone, which is essential to do anything like that. You get fucking ratted out, and I wouldn't have to worry, I could round everybody up into one area. Not only could I get the take on the restaurant itself, but the clientele was all high end, so I could rob the clientele as well. I have a Tech 22. It's an Intertech.
What's that? It's
a pistol. Like a long time ago, a lot of rap music, they used to talk about a Tech 9 and a Tech, this is a Tech, but it's a Tech 22. But it's a 22 rifle, but it looks like a machine gun. It's the most intimidating weapon I have. So I was going to use that, even though it's just a 22.
A lot of flash.
Oh, it looks badass.
But it's just a 22.
Yeah, it's just a 22.
So this was an armed caper.
Oh, completely armed. Yeah.
Because you don't want the dishwasher coming out with a cleaver. You got to be able to back him up.
Yeah. I want to be able to get everybody rounded up into one area right away. I don't want to give the whole thing away. I might have to do it still. I don't know. It might be planned.
Move down the list a little bit.
It's an effort.
I got a new.
I don't know.
And then after that, I mean, you live right next door. What was going to be the plan?
Well, I live within a 5-mile radius of there.
Yeah.
So over the back fence, there's just a shitload of residential places where nobody would ever even recognize.
They'd stop a lot of places before they ended up at your place.
Yeah, I'd already be long gone.
And that was to where? What was the plan? You were leaving town, or were you just?
No, fuck no. I was going to go back home.
I'd be long gone.
Yeah,
there.
Yeah, I just needed some money. I mean, I have stuff planned out. I just needed some money to make some bills if some stuff didn't work out. So it worked out, so I didn't have to do that. So.
You got some ambition.
I'm just not against doing whatever's necessary, I guess.
Well, you did have a plan. That's more than most. Some of the crime you see on TV, it's like, wow, you weren't even thinking, or it's a spur of the moment thing, off the cuff.
Yeah, no. This was definitely. I don't want to get caught doing shit.
Yeah,
I'm not prison material.
Well, tell you what. By the looks of it, those days are gone at the old Outside Inn. There was us.
Yeah. I don't want to be fucking robbing guys in cutoffs, drinking wine at the bar.
Wine and appetizers, because I didn't want to commit to a meal. And the only other couple in there were, I'd say 70s, but they're probably upper 70s. Wow. And he was retching into a handkerchief the whole fucking time. And I'm pretty sure out of them, you might have got I don't know, fucking nitroglycerine tablet, or they were with a Groupon thing.
So, it doesn't sound like I would have had to shoot him at least. I wouldn't have fought back.
No. You could have pushed him over.
Good deal.
But yeah, there was definitely maybe you'd have to stake it out again to make sure that the glitterati of Sierra Vista are still frequenting.
Yeah, those days are past me now. I'd have to rob a Buffalo Wild Wings.
Or like now. The Texas Roadhouse down the road. Yeah,
exactly. Everything's
things have changed in Sierra Vista.
Hey, I'm just kidding. I would never rob anybody, armed or otherwise. I don't understand.
We wrote that skit.
Yeah.
We should just take a break. Then I can trick you into talking again.
Okay. Yeah, this is not going as smooth as the last time, I think. Maybe I'm more sober.
Oh, don't worry about what's happening.
No, actually, I'm not. My over analytical self actually just finds myself feeling bad for you for having to edit all this shit later on. I'm like, oh, you're fucking making Chaille have to do extra work, you fucking dick.
Yeah, my packed days. So like, hey, why don't we take a break, and we'll be right back after this.
We're going to take a break and smoke a bowl because this weed that I have makes me cough a lot, and I don't want to cough in the microphone. So we're going to take a break while I smoke this bowl.
Hey, if you're coming to Bisbee, and a lot of people tweet me that they are, if you're not a comic, I don't really pay that much attention. But if you are staying here, the rule still stands. If you're coming to Bisbee, stay at the Shady Dell if it's available. and I will step away from my book and come have a beer with you. Even Ichabod says, yay on the Shady Dell. TheShadyDell.com, TheShadyDell.com. It's a vintage trailer park. Trailers done to the nines, just like it's 1958. You're gonna love it. I will come down. I'll have cocktails with you. Maybe we burn a steak. I don't know. But stay there. If you're in town and I'm in town, I will see you there. And now back to the podcast, already in drudgery.
We're back to the Doug Stanhope Shotclog Podcast. I have smoked a bowl of some great weed that a hippie grew in his yard. And I like it. Thank you, hippie. I'm starting to get a buzz, Chaille.
Yeah?
Finally. Yeah. On the, I didn't pay for it.
You're adhering to the new name of the podcast.
Yeah, I'm shot clogging it up with my free buzz.
Hey, what are people tweeting you regarding you hosting or whatever they're talking about?
People were very supportive, and then people started getting angry because there has not been a podcast, and they think that I just didn't do it.
Yeah,
and,
I got that from Mishka Shubaly too.
Yeah, and I just I don't respond really, so I responded maybe once or twice and just said pretty soon, so that people will know that at least I've tried.
Yeah.
But because they started being more like, "Hey, fuck you! What the fuck is the matter with you?
Yeah,
you
like
motherfucker!" Like the tone has changed from supportive to fucking like demanding, angry. Fucking, I like it. I'm impressed. A lot of people want to know if I'll do mushrooms on the podcast. I get a lot of mushroom requests.
Yeah, that time you did it at the podcast, you were. What did you say? It's hard to do this through a smile.
Oh, yeah, it's hard to read through a grin. Yeah. Somebody tweeted that. I don't remember it. It was fun. I like mushrooms. Mushrooms are one of my favorites.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that before your
my run is up.
Your guest spot run is up.
All right, I'm up for it. I'm up for it just a little bit. I like mushrooms. Mushrooms are one of my favorite drugs. When I was in the Army, we did a lot of acid.
Is it because they can't test for that?
Yeah, that was. It doesn't show up.
But don't you have guns?
Well, not while you're doing the acid.
Well, I mean, where are you when you're doing acid when you're in the Army?
I've done it.
Are you on base?
I've done it on base several times, like at people's house or in the barracks.
So aren't there guns there?
The guns are all locked up in an armory.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't get at the guns.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah. It's fucking acid. You're not going to lose your mind, dude.
Well, I don't. You might not lose your mind, but how do you know the guy around you? Some of the other guys around you might just get a little crazy.
Well, and yeah, to be fair, right? How do I know I might not lose my mind?
That's true too.
I don't know, but acid was always one of the fucking drugs I liked. We would do it camping. One of the worst fucking times I did it, I worked 12 hours in a copper mine, not on acid.
I was gonna say,
but I worked a 12-hour shift, and I got off work, and I took I think it was like 3 or 4 hits of acid.
Wait, were you like working inside the side of a mountain mine like that?
No, on top of a mountain, like in a smelter.
Okay, but it's hard work.
Down. Oh, it's fucking
okay. So after a
hard.
12-hour shift of hard labor, you decided you would take 3 hits of acid
and go to the bar. Yeah, I have no fucking idea why. I'm by myself. There's nobody with me.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck possessed me to do any of this. I just remember going there, and I was holding a beer in my hand, and I tried to be careful. I remember trying to be careful not to squeeze it too tight because I felt like I would smash it.
Like the Hulk.
Yeah. Sometimes I get that feeling, even not on acid, and maybe it's I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I was going to say. You hold a baseball. If you play baseball when you're a kid, I'll hold a baseball as an adult, and it'll kind of fucking flash back because it feels so tiny than what I was used to as a kid. And it felt like it was tiny in my hand.
It's like a muscle memory. You remember it being much bigger in your hand, and now you've
I remember
grown.
relating to that when I was on acid. So the beer, I was very careful not to smash the fucking beer because it was tiny in my hand. And then I realized, that my shoulders, I was hunching my shoulders so that they wouldn't brush the ceiling because I felt like I was a giant in the bar. And, a guy that I knew came over and he was probably, I don't know, 6'6". This guy's a gigantic guy. And he's like, how are you doing? And I was telling him I dropped acid and, and he's like, well, how are you feeling? And I kept telling him, I feel huge. And he'd laugh and I feel huge. I just kept repeating it. And, he says, do you feel bigger than me? And I said, I feel bigger than you. And he says, you shouldn't be at the fucking bar. And I realized that was probably true. I probably should not be. I should have never went to the fucking bar. What's the matter with me? So I went to leave. And when I pushed in the clutch on my truck, the slave cylinder underneath blew out. So the clutch stuck on the floor.
Yeah.
Had no clutch. So I had to put it in second gear and start it, like coast it down a little.
That's not going to stop you.
And what else was I going to do? I was focused on, I need to be home.
The strength of your super leg had just crushed the clutch.
That was not lost on me. Trust me. Neither was it that I was able to just with one foot Flintstone the vehicle in second gear and start it.
Oh, you push started it with your left foot out the door.
Put it in second gear, cranked the key, and push started it with my left foot out the door. And, got it started. The downside of that was now I'm fucking driving on acid and I can't stop at stop signs or anything.
And you can barely fit in the cab of your truck.
I'm afraid I'm going to bust the windows out the whole time.
There goes the wind wing.
It was an experience for sure. I took back roads. I knew back roads almost all the way home. I did see two cops parked, side by side talking to each other. Yeah. And at one of the stop signs that I had to fucking let my truck just almost die in second gear so I can't stop. I can make it look like I'm coming to a stop the best I can and then I have to floor it again.
Yeah.
I had to do fucking 25 and the 45 all the way fucking.
Did you ever consider maybe just stopping and carrying the vehicle home?
That was, in hindsight is 2020, sir.
That would have been smarter, way smarter had I just carried it.
I can't think of everything at the time. That was fucking bad. I don't do acid and go to the bar. You're exhausted. I don't know. The combination I attribute it to, but it may be like tater tots making me throw up. I don't know. It may not have been a combination. It may have just been the acid.
It's probably the acid.
Yeah, I think so. You're probably right.
Chaille, or maybe the chemicals in copper mining. Maybe it was that. I mean, let's not lose sight of the fact that you just did a 12-hour shift in a copper mine where they're using pretty caustic, nasty chemicals to leach out the payload, right?
Oh, you don't even. Yeah, I used to have to wear a respirator and a fucking suit, and you tape your every area shut around your boots and around your wrists, around your gloves. And even still, you'd go take a shower after your shift and you just blow black snot out. Yeah.
The acid probably kept you sane. That kept you even, man.
I don't think I've been sane for a long time. I don't know why the fuck. Why would I decide that's a good idea? I just got off work. Well, I'm going to relax and take some hits acid and go to the fucking bar. But live and learn. Don't do that. But I will do a couple of fucking caps and stems while I hang out here. And people want police beat too. But police beat to me seems weird if Doug's not here because Doug's the one who fucking makes funny commentary on it. Otherwise, I'm just fucking reading it like a fucking asshole. So I don't know how to do that.
We'll figure it out.
All right. That sounds good. But other than that, that's what it is.
You got into the acid one. I didn't think you were going to do that. That's great.
You went into the fucking other deal, so I went that way.
Yeah.
All right. I can roll.
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out how to get into shoplifting.
Yeah, I don't know now. I thought the same thing too, but
I could put in a funny sound effect. How did you end up at a copper mine?
where I lived, that's basically the main job. That's all there was.
That's it?
Yeah.
Was it Globe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Globe is Bisbee without any tourism.
Oh.
And with an active copper mine.
It's to this day, it's still running?
Yeah, you guys should take a road trip up there. There's a fucking casino right there, Indian casino right there. And, but Globe is a fucking horrible place. There's no, the collective consciousness, if you believe in such a thing. Oh yeah,
I've been to Florida.
Of Globe is, like, it's Bisbee. There's bars. You walk out of one bar and walk into another bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird place. So I grew up, that's why I grew up fighting a lot. There was a lot of fights and stuff.
That's similar to the petroleum industry bringing in all these people up into Anchorage, and they would fly in and they would have to be completely sober going up to do their shift 2 weeks on. And then when they got done, they had a shitload of cash, and they'd end up in Kenai or Soldotna, and there's a little airplane, little community airport there. And they had basically in this one part of town, they had 3 bars. It was a weird, like kind of a roundabout, without the thing in the center, right? So these 3 bars were across the street from each other. It's like a Y, right? And these guys would go from one bar until they got kicked out to the next bar, and this is in Alaska. They didn't even have doors, proper doors. Yeah. They had, the saloon doors, the ones that on hinges, that when the cowboy comes in, he pushes through. Yeah. That's what they had on the front, because there were so many people coming and going, and it was just great. Guys would be asleep underneath the pool tables. I know that we've talked about this maybe drunk, or maybe I've just thought about it drunk and fucking not, but in the early 80s, I lived in Alaska. My dad was a bouncer at Chilcoots. Was he really? So that was, and it was, it was during the time, like you're saying, it was fucking wild as shit. Even in the early 80s, I was a little kid, but I remember him having handcuffs hanging from his fucking bed for work, it was a rough time. So. Oh, that was when the, pipeline money was still rolling through there. Yep. Yeah. That's what built that bar. Yeah, that place was cool. I was there whenever I was stationed in Fort Wainwright, Alaska for 3 years. And then I got to go to Anchorage a couple of times. The big city. Yeah. The long distance. Yeah, I love Alaska. So why was your dad was up there just to work there? Or how did he end up there? Well, when I was a little kid, let's see. Yeah, the first time when I was younger than that, he went up there to work in a man camp, gold mine. Mm-hmm. He went up there and worked, I don't know, half the year, and then would come back home. And he did that for a few years, and then he liked the place. So then he ended up, I think I was like in kindergarten when we moved up to Anchorage, and he worked at Chilcoots. So when you guys went up there, was that his off time that he was working at Coots? I think that was his main job at that time. It seems weird to go up there so many times panning for gold or working in a man camp. But I think he had banked up a fuckload of money doing that. Yeah, right. That makes sense. Over a few seasons. And then he needs something just to fucking stay busy. And probably just to fucking party with his fucking friends. I mean, well, no better place to work than the place where the party's at. Yeah. Especially if your dad was anything like you. I mean, that's what I say. I kind of come by it honestly. I mean, just back then, voluntarily go fucking bounce at fucking Coots is pretty rough. I could probably get you in on an internship. We'd have to maybe fudge some college credit stuff, but they'll probably be able to take you in. How about an associate's degree in business management? And a minor in rapping knuckles. Yeah. Collections and assault. Is that a certificate or a degree? Yeah, the bouncing game has changed quite a bit back from when your old man was there. I think I would like to think that I would be good as
security or a bouncer or something. If I was, for somebody else, I could be professional, keep my head about me. Realistically, that's probably not that true, but I cognitive dissonance and all that stuff.
Well, hopefully a lot of that stuff is diffused just by you standing there looking like you could handle the situation. But especially up in Alaska, I've seen things happen that shouldn't have happened because guys were just drunk and just got like, you're not telling me what to do. Yeah. I'll hit her if I want. Yeah. I brought her in here. I can knock her down. What are you going to do there? That guy's fucking crazy. He's going to fight everyone here until he's arrested. Yeah.
Sometimes I think I've gotten in fights. People would tell me, well, people single you out because you look like the fucking guy in the bar that wants to fight.
Yeah.
That's not always fucking true. I was in one of the last bar fights I was in. There was a guy I was with that was like 6'7", fucking big as a refrigerator. The guy was fucking gigantic. And then a guy who's in between, he's bigger than me, but he's not as big as that guy, comes and starts a fucking fight with me.
Well,
I'm like, that guy is the one you want. Everybody's fucking theory says it's that guy. That's not. I'm sitting here drinking a beer.
What's the theory? Is it the biggest guy?
Fucking, okay. Or the guy who, right. I don't know.
I think maybe it might be a vibe thing.
Could be. But I was definitely just chilling, drinking beer until he fucking came over and asked me if we had a problem.
Want to step outside and take care of it?
And he said, it was funny because he said, do we have a fucking problem? He came over real close to me and first he slammed into me and he walked by me and I looked over at him.
Like a crowded room shove kind of thing.
But it was really aggressive.
Yeah.
It was and then he maintained eye contact as he walked all the way down to the fucking end of the bar and then picked up his beer, drank his beer while maintaining eye contact, and then set his beer down and then walked back
looking
over
at you.
To me. Right. And then, I know I was looking at him the whole time too, but he fucking slammed into me and then was staring. So then he walked back over to me and he fucking came up real close and he said, do we have a fucking problem? And I already knew we did at that point, or else he wouldn't have fucking came over. So my head was already to the side of his, and I said, I guess we do. I said, do you want to do it in here or do you want to go outside? And he leaned forward closer and said, what? And I just unleashed a fucking right hook in the side of his head and knocked him fucking flat. But he was fucking big and strong, but he was smaller. He was shorter than me.
Yeah.
He came right back at me and grabbed a hold of me and tried to hit me. And I got a hold of him and we both ended up with our backs against the bar. And I have long reach, so I was able to jump over, punch him in the face and lean back without getting punched in the face. So
you'd throw one quick punch and then you'd push him. You'd push yourself back. You're both flat against the bar.
Flat back against the bar. And then I would basically just leap over and fucking punch him in the face and then immediately leap back without letting go of, my straight arm so he couldn't punch me.
We call that the grasshopper.
Is that what that one is? I call it the fucking I don't like to get punched in the face. And then the bartender came and whispered in my ear, Chad, I had to call the cops. And I said, if this big motherfucker will let me go, I will leave. And the crowd came in between us and pushed us apart, and I fucking left. But that was one of the last bar fights I got into. I got a bunch of fight stories. Nobody wants to fight stories.
We're just talking.
All right.
It's funny because up until when he said what, it was almost like that could be the story at a gay bar. Like he's looking at me, I'm looking at him. He comes up and brushes against me.
This guy had on a tank top and was really muscular, and in hindsight, I may have misread the entire situation.
This guy thinks he's going to get to suck your dick, and you keep punching him with a grasshopper to the face. I don't know. My friend told me this place was easy.
Oh, I never. Gives a whole new meaning to the vibe you were talking about earlier. I don't know what kind of vibe I was putting up.
Just because you put a vibe out doesn't mean people read it right.
Hey, I'll tell you what, if I'm at the bar, I probably had I want my dick sucked vibe. I didn't really fucking specify that I wanted a chick probably, but I wasn't thinking about that. All right, so we'll take a break and get a beer and take a piss.
Hey, UK merch is on sale. Where? In the UK? No, just on the website. Can't deal with all those problems with selling merch in the UK, but you can get UK t-shirts on the website at DougStanhope.com and posters. We have, Jim Ether's doing posters too? We got posters. We have t-shirts. We have everything you need to go out in public naked. A poster to cover your genitals and a t-shirt to cover your voluptuous man top. And go to DougStanhope.com and look for the merchandise page. My World Tour, *, places that speak English that will still book me. Yeah.
Where did you grow up?
Globe, Arizona.
That's where you.
That's where.
Until you went to Alaska, that's where you.
Until I was 17 years old, I grew up between Globe and Miami. I went to. My mom was had like basically the same kind of shit that I have, so she was fucked up. So I moved 3 to 4 times a year.
A year
on average.
Because of her?
She just would move.
Oh.
As a kid, I thought that it was because we couldn't afford where we were anymore and we had to move somewhere cheaper. Because I didn't understand how things worked. I didn't understand that it's fucking expensive as shit to move.
To move, yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't know. We just moved. I lived in every trailer park in both of those towns, which is a lot of them. I lived in the same trailer park in 3 different trailers at different times.
In what city?
In Globe, Arizona, I think. It's in between there, I think, on that trailer park. So.
How did you get to Miami?
Miami is right next to Globe.
Miami, Arizona.
Yeah.
Okay.
Globe and
you understand
Miami.
when you say Miami, I think you mean Florida.
Oh, yeah. That was fucking confusing. I'm sorry. That was retarded. Right next to Globe, Arizona is a mining town. Globe, Arizona and Miami, Arizona. They're just fucking little, it's Bisbee. You go there. The houses are built on the side of the hills. Like fucking nobody gave a fuck because they weren't going to be there in
Shacks.
3 months.
Yeah. And
then now people buy them. It's the same thing there.
Yeah.
The fences are made out of fucking leftover mining materials. But yeah, it was, like I said, I lived everywhere in that town. I lived in 3 different trailer parks. Or not 3 different trailer parks.
3 different
bunch
trailers.
of different trailer parks, but 3 different trailers in the one fucking trailer park. The trailer park growing up was fucking. Oh, sorry. We had all kinds of crazy shit we would do. My mom would let me fucking drive her truck as long as I didn't leave the trailer park. When I was
so the courtyard kid. Or it
was big, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, there's paved streets.
There's speed bumps. It's like 5 miles an hour. So she was cool, but I was like 11 fucking years old, 12 years old, I think. And she would let me drive the truck as long as I didn't leave the trailer park. So imagine, I was fucking badass amongst the trailer park fucking youth. We would go over.
So that could be a rough crowd.
Yeah, real rough.
Now you got wheels.
Yeah, I've always been the upper. I don't know if I told you I was ranting about something a while back, and my daughter told me, "Dad, why don't you just start a cult?" I told her, "Start one? I joined one. I'm already like a general. What are you talking about?" So, anyways, that was non sequitur. I'll go back to the.
So you're driving around at 12 years old?
Yeah, I was a fucking badass. We'd drive around. We would drive over to the pool and fucking check out everybody hanging out at the pool. And then we drive over to the candy lady's house.
The candy lady.
The candy lady had, I guess maybe she would go to Costco or something. We didn't know at that time what the fuck that was, but apparently people could buy candy in fucking bulk, the same as the stores, and sell it cheap as fuck. So she did that. You could go knock on her door, she'd open it up, and she had fucking
like a display?
Yeah, big hunks and fucking nerds and whatever, and it was half the price that you could walk to the convenience store.
No overhead for her.
No,
it's her home.
To deal with little kids fucking banging on her door fucking all the time,
Yeah.
wanting to buy candy, but candy lady. I didn't think it was weird until I got older, and then I was like, that was fucking kind of weird.
She had no business license.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
Well, and I guess it's just a different time too, because now I guess I wouldn't want my kids going to fucking some strange fucking person's house in the neighborhood buying candy out their fucking back door. So I don't know. It's different times, I guess. I became the baseball card guy that was in the trailer park. Like I was like the candy lady.
Were you taking her business?
But she didn't sell baseball cards. She only sold candy. But
you noticed a niche in the marketplace.
Well, it started off because a guy that I knew was good at shoplifting, and I never knew about shoplifting before, and he introduced me to it. And he went into Walmart and shoplifted bolt cutters, put them down his pants, the handles down his pants, put his shirt over the top part, went out into the lobby and cut the back lock off the back of the fucking Street Fighter game or whatever was
the
there.
Little game room?
Yeah. Just looted all the fucking money out and racked up free credits so we could play. I was like, holy fuck, people don't even pay attention to what the fuck you do. So then I stole a Walkman. I started stealing fucking shoplifting shit. And, that lasted for a little bit. I would shoplift cassettes and stuff mainly for my Walkman. But the other thing was baseball cards. I collected baseball cards. Mm-hmm. So I was fucking saving up money to pay fucking $1 or whatever for baseball cards. And then I realized after that, this motherfucker put bolt cutters down his pants. Surely I can get out of here with a few baseball card packs. So I stole baseball cards for a while. And then it occurred to me, the candy lady inspired me that I could sell baseball cards.
Start your own home business.
Yeah.
Work from home.
I could build up a surplus of baseball cards and then sell them out of there. But then it was the wax packs. You could just open them up and look through and take out the good cards that you needed and put them in with cards that you already had.
The duds.
And then well, I tried not to be too much of a dick. I didn't always do duds. I put in good ones that I had doubles of. But yeah sometimes fucking put in a dud. And then you put a dab of super glue and put the wax pack back together and
resell it.
Yeah, you can sell dud baseball cards for half price. No overhead, like you said.
Was there gum in there?
I never stole the gum.
You always kept the gum?
Integrity.
Yeah.
Is important in business.
Not to mention it looks like kind of a rip.
Yeah.
When there's like way more glue holding the back of this whack pack.
You don't want to arouse suspicion with the local trailer park children regarding their bootleg baseball cards. Sorry if anybody listens that I sold shitty baseball cards.
Those duds are probably worth something now. No.
No, probably not.
No way.
No. Shoplifting was fucking key all the way through. Whenever I got into high school, I had a friend who would go into Walmart and shoplift Polaroid film because it was
the packs
Polaroid instant camera film because it was expensive as fuck.
Still expensive,
but it was easy to steal because it was small. So
didn't they have them behind a rack or something?
Eventually they did, but for a long time they didn't because that was the racket. And eventually they stopped giving us cash and made us have store credit.
Oh, you were bringing them back?
He would steal them, and then one of us would go in and, my grandma bought me this film for my birthday, but it doesn't fit my camera. And they would just give you cash, and then we would go and get booze.
Wait, how did you get the booze? You weren't 21 doing this scam.
We live usually, people would have buyers, you know how that goes.
Shoulder tap or like a brother, an older brother,
a lot
older
of times
sister?
It was somebody would know somebody, but we also live next to the Indian Reservation, San Carlos Indian Reservation. So there was a bar on the outskirts of town, because they're not allowed to have bars on the reservation.
Yeah, or liquor.
So
on
they
property.
would all migrate up and they would get fucked up and then they would just go pass out in the trees and shit behind there. So you could always just go over and, right. Hey, mister it. Right. Just, hey, we'll buy you a 40 if you buy us a case. And they would go and do it.
Did they ever figure that they could keep the case and give you the 40?
It was always a risky fucking situation going in because we knew, right, we were just kids. And one time I had me and it was 3 of us. My friend parked in the car wash next door and 2 of us went over. Well, the one that was with me was not known for backing himself up in fights. So I told him, listen, if shit goes down, you have to fucking help me out. You can't, you can't puss out.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I got you, man. I got you back. So I go over and there was 3 guys. One was really tall with a big basketball head. One was short and fat and one was medium and skinny. There was 3 of them. And they walked up and the big basketball head guy, we asked him to get, buy us some booze and stuff.
Yeah.
And he just looks at me and he says, you got any cigarettes? And I go, no, man, I don't fucking smoke. I don't have any cigarettes. And he says, these guys are all just fucking obliterated out of their minds.
Are these the Native American guys?
They're Apache Indians, which
yeah.
are not fucking known for handling their alcohol well throughout history. So these guys are fucking loose cannons. So like I said, there's a chance. So he says, and I said, I don't have any cigarettes. I don't smoke. And he says, you got any joints? And I told him, I don't have any joints, man. I don't have shit. And he says, and I could just see him getting agitated and he's breathing and he says, you got any matches? And about that time I saw him make a fist with his right hand. Like he's breathing through his nose, agitated, and he makes a fist. And I was like, fuck it. I'm not even waiting. And I just leaped into the air and fucking hit him as hard as I could right between the eyes.
Yeah.
And he dropped instantly, just fell like a limp fucking noodle, fell complete. And I was like, fuck, right on. That was fucking easy in my head. And then there's these other fucking fat and fucking skinny Abbott and Costello fucking Indian guys still looking at me. I turn around and my chicken shit friend is fucking 15 feet behind me running the other way. And, I didn't bother with the other 2 guys. I just went ahead and we didn't have anything invested. We didn't give any money or anything. So I just fucking chalked it up to.
You dropped the tall guy. That should have been
shocked the fuck out of me, but I was still afraid he might get back up. And then you don't know if he was fucked up.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the other 2 guys are more sober. 2 against 1's never good.
No.
I'm not afraid to run.
It's just not your first instinct like your friend.
Well, yeah, it's an option, but that's not the first one. So yeah,
that made it. I mean, being that close to liquor and then that close to people who, let's face it, how much trouble are they going to get in, buying booze for underage when they're that close to the reservation, right?
Well, and it was dangerous for them too. Like, there was you hear rolling Indians was a common term there.
Oh, really?
And people would go there on their paydays. They knew when their paydays were, and high school kids would go there when they knew they were fucked up and just beat the fuck out of them and rob them.
Oh, wow.
And it was called rolling Indians. So it made it really...
Everyone was afraid of everyone on some level.
Yeah. Well, we wanted booze.
Yeah. Well, that's the market. That's the way that works. Is that you guys, you have a distrust and a need for each other. Just enough.
Yeah.
You don't want to roll the guys because they might be the ones that can only buy for you next time.
Yeah.
So it kind of keeps it kind of safe.
Yeah. It was a delicate, fragile ecosystem.
Yeah.
I guess that wraps up what we're doing. My guest host, stint number 2. Hit me up at HD Fatty on Twitter, I guess, if you want to to say anything, have questions. Everybody's really nice to me, Chaille. Nobody's been mean. I find that suspicious. Everybody's very fucking hateful on Twitter.
Like it's a trick.
Yeah.
Setting you up?
Well, I'm paranoid sometimes.
Yeah.
So sometimes that's a factor. Literally, somebody fucking be a dick to me a little bit or something so I can fucking balance this shit out.
Careful.
Yeah, I don't care.
So people can get in touch with you on Twitter at HDFatty.
At HDFatty. And Stanhope's still on tour in the UK. When does he come back, Chaille?
The end of beginning of November. So we got a couple more shows to do here. A couple more podcasts. You can always go to pick up UK merch. That's the only way we're selling it is online at DougStanhope.com.
Well, I guess that wraps it up then. Thank you guys. And we'll go out with another of Mishka Shubaly songs off of Coward's Path. Available at DougStanhope.com. Here is New Jersey Valentine's Day Orphan Blues.
Well, you sure got a big mouth, and you know how to use it for screaming and howling and swearing and sobbing and boozing. But lay down your weapons, we're ready to give in to your demands. The getaway cars packed with cocaine and whiskey in a battered tin can. Happiness is as dull as it seems, and the company loves misery. You'd be happier being unhappy like me. 'Cause I'll be cutting my milk chocolate heart out just for you. The girl with the New Jersey Valentine's Day Orphan Blues. Do the right thing when I've run out of wrong things to do. But God, everybody's made a few mistakes. Everybody's buried a body or two or three. You said with your hatred and my hangovers that we'd bring the world to its knees. I'll pull my head out of the toilet long enough to say that I disagree. Me with my black market meds, and you with your tremors and fits. Who's gonna look after the kids? 'Cause I'll be cutting my milk chocolate heart out just for you. The girl with the New Jersey Valentine's Day Orphan Blues. 'Cause I'll be cutting my milk chocolate heart out just for you. The girl with the New Jersey Valentine's Day Orphan Blues.